Hello there guys, and welcome to another video in the series on how to make a Parallax WordPress theme. And in this video we are going to make the theme responsive, so it looks good on all devices. So this is the current setup or current look on larger screens. So if I take a look on how to look at it, what it looks like on a smaller screen. So far it looks good. But this part here does not look particularly good, and if we make it smaller for a even smaller devices, the button here doesn't look good, and uh, this here doesn't look that good either. So let's deal with that. And if I look at the blogs, same here, doesn't look that great. If you look at particular blog post, looks fairly okay. Can argue maybe making the image a little bit smaller. And for the pages, they look pretty okay, except for the contact reservations forms. So need to deal with this one here, and also the reservation, the reservation page. So it kind of goes outside the container here. So let's deal with that. Let's start with our home page. Let's click on this one there. So let's fix this section here, if possible. All right, let's refresh there. Okay, let's deal with this here. You can see it now. We can only see one image here, Miami. The other ones are gone. So if I refresh here, make it larger, you can see it's now responsive. All right, so let's deal with that. All right, so let's go back to our style sheet. And in the previous video, I started to create the media queries. So the media queries here has a max width of 1024 pixels. And what that mean is that if we have the pixels up here, this is the width. So if I drag it here to 1024, we can have a look at the menu, because that's what it is. So if we have 24, you can see that if it's below 1024 pixels, this menu here will pop up, the side menu. And if it's bigger than 1024 pixels, we get the normal menu like this. Okay, so that's what it means when it's max. So this will only take effect up to 1024 pixels. Okay. All right, so let's get started here. So first, let's take a look at the restaurant section down here. So if we highlight this section here, so we have this section, a class of section restaurants. And then in this class section here, we have a class of restaurants, which is grid. So we gotta make these so they are stacked on top of each other. Let's take care of that. So the first one I'm going to do is the restaurant section, as I said. So let's just before the footer in the media query, I'm going to a little comment. Let's first deal with all the sections. Okay, sections like this. And the first one here is just a section, I would say, and then yeah, so can maybe make it look like this. I won't be able to see it. Doesn't matter. Let's make it full screen. So the section here is text align, and the text align should be justify. Scroll up a little. and padding 50 pixels and 30 pixels. So let's save that, and let's refresh. So all the sections that has a text here gets this look here instead. So it's a little bit better. Now let's take care of all the text sections. So in the front page, I think we have a text section right here. So let's deal with that. That's the info text. So let's go to a style sheet, and below here, let's do section text, and let's go to the p tags, the paragraph tags, and in here let's do a letter spacing of 1 pixels, and line height of 20 pixels. Okay, so let's see what we got when we do that. Okay, so see it's a little more compact here. Okay, good. Now let's deal with this one here. So I am going to put another comment here, say it's a text section. Um, text section, and down here below, let's make another comment, and this is the restaurant section. And scroll up a little bit. Okay, so the first one we need to deal with is this section. Well, I just did tag the I guess uh, the section itself. So let's do restaurants, like so, and we need to stack them on top of each other. So to do that, we need to display it as a block, like this. And then let's go back here and let's refresh. So now they're stacked on top of each other, right? But you can see here, you kind of get mushed together down here. So let's continue and deal with that. All right, so first, we don't need any padding. 0. And let's deal with the p tags. So restaurants and the p tag. So let's do a padding bottom of 20 pixels. Let's refresh. Okay, text tag goes down a little bit, nice. And then let's deal with the section, the whole section, section restaurants. Restaurants, and we need to improve the height a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to put this as an onset. Okay, so onset will probably make it, we'll make it automatically to fit the container. Let's refresh, and now you can see it fits nicely here. All right, good. Now let's take care of the news and events. So I'm just going to go back here. So the same thing, let's first fix the header. So gonna create another comment, and this is the event section. And here let's do first section events, and let's tag the h2 tags, and font size to be 2M, and let's align center. So text align center like this. Let's refresh. All right, so text a little bit smaller, better fit our smaller screens, and it's centered. So now let's deal with these. So again, let's stack these on top of each other. So what we need to do is target the news boxes. So I think that's what we had. It's a class there, right? Let's see, we can scroll up there a little. Right, so every A class is a news box there. So news boxes. Okay, so news boxes, and don't need a margin. And we don't need a border either. Okay, so let's refresh. Okay, so now the borders are gone. Now let's stack them on top. So we do have a class here of news front. Okay, so that kind of deals with all of these. And as you can see here, it's display as a flex. All right, so let's display it as a block. So let's target that one. So it's news front and display block, like so. So refresh. Okay, right, there we go. Now I think the font size is pretty decent there. Now let's deal with this button. So if we make this one even smaller, like so, you can see, let's center the button here. Okay, so the button has a class of target the button there. We have a class of button posts. Okay, so let's target that. It's an A tag. So let's do a dot button posts, and font size, maybe make it a little bit smaller, 16 pixels, and text align center, and the width, let's do auto, and display as a block. Let's save that and refresh, see what we got there. All right, so now it's a little bit better there. Cool. So that's these two sections. Next, let's fix this as well. So let's again stack them on top of each other. So let's target this class here. So it's section pages, and also has two classes in here. One page is left and one page is right. So let's first target this one, section pages. So I'm gonna go down here and a new comment, and I'm just gonna do this one, section pages, and let's target section pages there, like so, and let's display as a block, and let's save and refresh. As you can see now, on top of each other. Now let's, you can see this doesn't look good, and also need a little separation here between these two. So next, let's do pages left first. All right, pages left, and padding, maybe 10 pixels, margin bottom, get some separation between the two posts there, 20 pixels, and then text align center instead of justify, and let's refresh that. All right, there you go, looks much better. Next, let's do pages right, and this one should have a padding of 10 pixels, and also text align center. Coolio. All right, looks much better. All right, so that's that. Now let's deal with the view more. We click here. This should be taken care of because I have the same classes here. Okay, so this looks nice. Maybe this section here. So if I target this one, section pagination, maybe if we, what happens if I do text align? Center, okay. So let's align this center. So we have section pagination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a new comment and just do blog or event page. Yes. And this was section pagination. So let's go down there and section pagination and text align center. Let's refresh. Okay, nice. So now it's centered. Okay, and if we make it bigger, you can see here it follows along nicely. All right, let's move on here. Let's take a look at each individual post. It looks fine. Let's not bother too much about that. And then about us looks all right. And let's deal with the contact form. Okay, so maybe make this one a little bit bigger. Now it's half screen, it doesn't look that nice. So let's target the fields. So we use this form here, WPC F7 form class. So let's deal with those. So let's target this here. So we got this class here, WPCF7-form, and input. And width right now is 50%. So let's see what it does with 100%. It's always a little bit uneven there, right? Let's what do we do if we do 90? 90%. It looks a little bit better, right? So let's copy this here. And let's go back and below the event section, or no, actually event pages. I'm just going to do contact form. Okay, and let's paste that in, and let's do width 90%. See what that does. All right, so now it keeps 90% all the way there, all the way till we get to normal screen. All right, good. Now let's also deal with this one here, the text area. It has the same class, but text area instead. And let's do with 90 there as well. Actually, what we can do here is just let's copy this instead, and comma, and instead of input, let's do text area. Let's save that and let's refresh. All right, now we got that one too. And let's see what we can do with the button. Is there anything we can do with the button? The button's already 90%. Do submit instead. Do with percent. Do 100 is too much, right? We can line it up there. 95. 95%. I don't know. Yeah, it's better to do that. So we got this control here, submit. Okay, so let's copy this and let's paste it in. And instead of form, let's do submit, and let's do with, what's that, 95%. Okay, wait a minute. Did not really take input class. Let's see, let's look at this here. Maybe the whole thing, form control. Let's try that. Okay, so we had, we say form control and then VPCF7 submit. So refresh. All right, okay, now okay, it looks a little bit better. And if we do this here, yeah, okay, it looks nice. All right, fair enough. Let's continue. Let's take care of the last form, the reservations. Okay, and so far it looks fairly good. What if we change this one to smaller, like S9? Because here it kind of pops outside the container there. So let's target those. So we have forms here. So it's let's target the first one. Okay, so have the reservation and RTB. Let's see, so RTB booking form. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, RTB booking form. Okay, so it's going to be this class there, and then with that field set, we're going to have the input. Okay, that's what that is. Text, date label, and down here. Okay, so we need the input. Okay, RTB booking form input. So now it's 100%. So maybe just change that to perhaps 90%. Yes. Okay. Let's do that. Let's go back here and under contact form, another comment. Let's do booking form, and it was RTB hyphen booking hyphen form input, and the width was 90%. Save that. Let's refresh. Let's see, it doesn't work. See, what's this? Here's our new style. Does that say? Filter rules containing this property. Let's just overwrite that. So what you can do is, if you absolutely want this element here to take effect, you can do exclamation mark and important. So that will override any other styling. Be careful with this one though. So you don't override things on other pages that you don't want to override this with. But we can use it for our form here, it's fine. And if I add a message, it's the text area down here. See, it's pretty small. Let's make this a little bigger. So it's a text area. If we target this one down here, we got the text area. I think maybe height. Oops. Height maybe 200 pixels. Is that? I think that's enough for a mobile screen, right? So let's go back there to text area. We got the RTB booking hyphen form and text area. And here the height is 200 pixels. That's what we said, right? There we go. And let's refresh. If I hit this one again, so we get the same. Nice. So that's that. Let's just take a last look. That's good. And let's go back to our home page. There we go. And let's. This is all looking good. I think. Let's see, anything else we need to do here? Looking good. Let's see here as well. These also looking good. Oh, let's see here. It looks a little bit odd right there. So maybe what's this down there? 1242. Yeah, maybe stack this on top of each other at maybe this this width. So what we can do is if we go back to our style sheet and before this one here, let's make a comment, media queries, unless that isn't clear. And let's add another media query, and this with max width of let's say 1229 pixels, and this is a restaurant section, so let's comment on that. Restaurant section, and let's target the section restaurants, and let's do the height. I think also the height wasn't great on set, and then let's stack them on top of each other so we get the restaurant and display these as block. There we go. Let's refresh. Okay, so when it drops below 128, it should let's scroll back down here. What's this? Restaurants, perhaps. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, and now they're stacked on top of each other, and the other margin down here is pretty good as well. So that's nice. I think this is actually it for this video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.